Frans Timmermans, the Dutch foreign minister, is really going to guide these discussions because of the issue of whether the Dutch want to go full bore on sanctions right now because of the concerns about repatriation of the bodies and also access to the crash site. So there is those sensitivities, and we're waiting to hear what the Dutch position on this is going to be. We certainly have countries that really want to go now, and they want to go hard. But if the Dutch say, look, we need to wait until we are assured a thorough and transparent investigation and until those bodies are back in Amsterdam, my suspicion is that they would hold off. The problem with these economic sanctions, what they call the Phase 3 sanctions, is that every economic sanction that is hit will affect EU countries differently. So for the French, an arms embargo will affect this deal with the Mistral. If you go after the financial sector, that hits the Brits, that hits the Cypriots, that hits Luxembourg. If you go after the energy sector, that hits the Germans. So the problem is, everyone argues you have to have a balanced package of sanctions that hits everyone equally. But the problem is when you do that, you have to go nuclear or go nothing, because it's either all or nothing. And this is the problem the EU is running into. And they're trying to blur the lines now between what constitutes Phase 2, which is targeting individuals, and Phase 3, which is targeting entire sectors of the economy. They're trying to find a middle way. To be honest with you, not particularly successfully. And so the French arguments that we can't just do the military is as relevant as the British argument that you can't just do the financial, as the German argument, which is you can't just do the energy. So it's a real conundrum the EU has right now. The fact of the matter is, the EU always acts slowly on these issues. I think there's a lot of heat right now to get something decisive done. My suspicion is they act on the sanctions that were approved before the crash happened. So we'll likely see additional names and potentially some banks added to a list of sanctions, but we're not likely to get the big, swinging economic sector sanctions that the Brits and others are calling for. I'm Peter Spiegel, Brussels Bureau Chief of the Financial Times in Brussels.